I obviously have been complaining a lot, and I already was at a point where I was doing more. I mean, I stopped making spoiler videos because I just don't like any of the new cards coming out for a variety of reasons. The aesthetic sucks, and it's funny now when you see people getting excited for the one set that we get every year that's like an actual Magic set. I mean, that's where we've gotten to in a very short period of time. We went from the Stranger Things cards that everybody was losing their minds over to now 90% of Magic is Universes Beyond. Like, isn't that crazy to think about? But I mean, that's a minor thing. And I even made my video about how I'm going to stop complaining about the aesthetic of Magic because this is literally the way it is now. It's literally an unset combined with Universes Beyond. That's Magic now, right? They're trying to people call it Fortniteification, whatever you want to call it. I got a comment on a video today, and it's funny. Again, the way everything is happening right now, it has sort of made it so that, it's sort of like a perfect storm. Sort of everything happening all at once has really made me just really sort of rethink things in general. I had this comment today. I just, so again, you guys can figure out when I'm recording this video, I just released my video about the format speeding up. Again, one of the many things that I've been complaining about lately, right? And some guy said, yada, 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 I don't see this as a bad thing. They've made all these cards that do all this stuff without sacrificing much in the way of deck building, he pointed out. And I kind of stopped responding to comments. Again, we just got the brackets, in case you guys are wondering what time frame we're in. So we got the brackets, then we got the Final Fantasy stuff, and then I had already made my video about the format speeding up that I had planned on posting before the whole bracket stuff came out. And so I responded to that person and this is the part of just Magic in general. This is why I started playing Commander. You guys go watch my video, sort of my intro, to my channel video that I guess if you're subscribed to my channel, you don't see, that I talk about why I started playing Commander in the first place, because it was the only place left for people who were deck builders. That fundamental part of Magic the Gathering that people seem to forget about. And my response to this person was that I said, the part you get wrong is the sacrificing much in the way of deck building. Deck building is dead. Everything is a precon now. There is no deck building anymore. Every commander builds itself and every deck builds itself. People like this prepackaged way of playing Commander because then they don't have to focus on it too much and can get back to playing Fortnite. That's really how I feel about the game of Magic now. Commander especially. Commander is so much because it's already a casual format, it is so much the guy that I could just buy a precon. I mean, guys, guess what? I hate precons. I hate it. I've always hated it. But cat's out of the bag now. You're learning some things about me that I've been keeping to myself. As someone who prides himself in deck building, I hate everything about precons. You want to know why everyone plays the same cards now? Because of precons. Because precons print all the same cards over and over and over again. Yeah, a lot of people like to blame EDH Rec for that. No, precons are to blame. It's literally skipping an entire major part of what Magic the Gathering is, which is building your own deck. It's such a fundamental part of the game of Magic. So one of the reasons I started playing Commander in the first place is because when I played Modern, there was like 7 decks that everybody played, and I just thought that was super lame. And I loved coming to Commander, and every game I saw something new. I just thought that just made it so much more interesting. And it's funny how, despite the fact that they've been printing Commander cards nonstop for 5-6 years or whatever, I still see the same stuff all the time. So all of that, like the brackets and everything, and I see that ridiculous cactus that has a 10,000 power, and I'm just like, wow, it's literally just uncards now in regular sets. That's all it is. I just think there's no coming back from that. But more to the point, I have just played, and again, the timing here is pretty funny because I just played a game. First game I ever played on my Discord where I scooped. I've never done that before. The game only lasted about 45 minutes. But it happens. It happens. It did just work out in their favor. They were just getting the right cards at the right time. The game was pretty much archenemy. And it's kind of funny. Again, the biggest issue in that game, I thought, was the commander, Mrs. Bloomborough, or whatever the hell her name is, Mrs. Bubbleflower. That commander is so powerful. And again, whose fault is that? All the complaining people would do about trouble in pairs or dockside extortionists or jeweled lotus, I'm just thinking, who caused this problem? Wizards of the Coast did. And now you're asking Wizards of the Coast to fix the problem for you? Hey, Wizards of the Coast, come save us from the trouble that you created, right? Everyone's just the biggest fan of Gavin Verhey. You guys don't remember him making videos about, hey, we screwed up making Arcane Signet. He works for Wizards of the Coast, guys. He's not going to be your savior. He works for them. He's part of the problem. He's not the solution. Like, that drives me crazy. I'm like, you guys don't see what's going on here? It's weird. It's almost like people see him as this separate entity. No, he works for Wizards of the Coast, and he's going to do as they say. It's not going to fix nothing. Again, I understand the desperation people have to want these brackets to work because they're just not having fun. I totally get it because I just played 2 games in a row on my Discord that I didn't enjoy at all. After that 45-minute game where I just scooped, I followed that up with, and I'm not calling anyone out, but I was playing with very much regular patrons that have been around on my Discord for a very long time, and that game lasted about the exact same amount of time. And I didn't even scoop. I just got killed. I was playing my Denic deck. I didn't even get my commander flipped over. That deck is maybe unplayable now. How many decks do I have that are unplayable now on my own Discord? I can't even play Denic, sacrifice him, and flip him over without the game being over. So funny. And again, I read these comments on the speeding up of the format video, and people are like, oh, what's the big deal? You just play another game. If I can't even get Denic out, and he costs 2 mana, if I can't even get him out, sacrifice him and then flip him over and then start doing what my deck is supposed to do, then what's the point in playing another game? If the games never last past an hour, then I will never be. I have so many decks now that if the game doesn't go past an hour, my deck does nothing. My deck doesn't do anything. Again, all of these deal damage to all your opponents crap that the Wizards of the Coast have been printing in every damn set lately makes it so games are so fast. You know, it's just so funny to me when I hear people say, oh, 2 hour, that's too much, man. How about a 2-hour movie? When you go to a 2-hour movie, you're like, oh, it's been like an hour, and you just walk out of the theater? If you're enjoying what you're doing, what's the problem? Like, I never understood that argument. The guy literally on that video said, a 2-hour game makes no sense. What do you mean makes no sense? How long does it take to play Monopoly? I don't know. When I play Monopoly with my family, man, that's like a 2-hour game easily, right? So I don't even get that argument. But again, maybe they probably want to get back to playing Fortnite. It's just like, hey, buy my precon, play a quick game. Okay, back to playing Fortnite. That's what I'm thinking. I got to go do that other thing because I don't actually care about Magic, right? Again, we're bringing all these people in to the game of Magic with Commander, funny enough. It's kind of funny how Commander is really sort of becoming the doomsday device for Magic. So we're bringing all these people in that are fans of all these other things, but guess what? They're not fans of Magic. They just want to go back to doing those other things. So they just want to play a quick game and get back to doing that other thing. And they don't give a crap about Magic. And if the Wizards of the Coast folded tomorrow, man, don't care. I'll just sell my Magic cards and go back to doing all those other things, right? I had already planned on calling it quits for the channel. I just wasn't feeling it anymore. Again, those guys in the comments aren't wrong. I am complaining all the time. I'm always complaining. You're right. I'm at the point now where with all the cards we're getting that I hate, the bracket system that I hate, all the pre-packaged commanders that I hate, all this stuff. Like, guys, this format is nothing like it was when I first started playing. Nothing. This format was so fun and interesting when I first started playing it. Now it's just like, ugh. Hey, look, it's another auto-include card. Hey, whenever you sneeze, it deals 5 damage to each one of your opponents. Another one of those cards. Ugh. I've had enough of that crap. Like, I'm just so tired of all of it. And in fact, I would say that I probably was planning my exit way back in last year. So it would have been like September, right around when the bans happened, right? So when the bans happened and then the rules committee stepped down, that 2-week period in a row, I was just like, I think it's time. I just knew the end was near. I knew then. I'm like, there's nothing good that could come from this. I said it in so many videos. Wizards of the Coast taking over the format, nothing good can come from this. They're the ones that created the problem, guys. Like that, I can't even believe that people can't figure that out in their own head. Those cards that you were celebrating that were banned were created by Wizards of the Coast. And now you're asking them to come save you from the problem they created. It baffles me that people are like this. It will maybe not be ruined, but it'll certainly be, we'll just keep getting farther and farther and farther away from where it originally was, where I fell in love with it. Right? Maybe you guys love that. Maybe guys have been playing Commander for a year. They're like, I don't get it. What is he talking about? I don't get it. Right? People who are used to seeing all those commanders in the command zone, that they're probably like, I don't get it. What's the problem? I mean, you would have to have been playing Magic, or you would have to have been playing Commander for at least 5 or 6 years to understand where I'm coming from before they started really pouring it on with 30 commanders. Again, for those who don't know, again, newer Magic players, newer Commander players, they used to print 3 or 4 legendary creatures in a Magic set for like 20 years of printing legendary creatures. It was 3 or 4 in a set. Now it's 30 or 40. That's insane, right? So, I mean, it just completely changed the way Magic in general has worked. Again, as so many people have complained about, they're trying to resurrect Standard and trying to save Modern. It's not going to work, I don't think. I'm also just so sick of the people in the comments. I'm so, like, again, that's another thing with, I've noticed my comments getting worse and worse and worse. Again, the more popular the game gets, the worse it gets. That's basically it. This is not a good thing. Everyone's like, oh, it's bringing more people in the game. That's not a good thing. Things becoming popular is not necessarily a good thing. Anyone that is immersed in nerd culture should know that. How many things have been ruined because they became popular? So many. I don't know. There's so many factors here. Maybe I'm just getting tired of it. I've been doing this for over 4 years now, and it's kind of getting old. I definitely, though, am not feeling it anymore with the Commander format. I just hate everything now that is happening with the format. So nothing I will ever say will be good. That shit gets old real fast too. I remember this channel I used to watch back in the day, Desolator Magic. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him, but he was sort of the guy that like basically all his videos were just complaining about the stupid shit that Magic was doing, or that Wizards of the Coast was doing. And he used to get a decent amount of views. I think he might have, 40 or 50,000 subscribers. He was doing okay there for a while, but it trails off. After a while, people are like, oh, he's complaining again. And I get it. People don't want to hear me complain all the time. Hey, where's all your videos about neat decks and and 10 cards and stuff? Yeah, I still do that. Guess what? They don't get any views. Nobody watches them. Yeah, I could sit here making deck techs forever, guys. Okay? Forever. I could just make decks literally forever. But guess what? Nobody would watch them. Even my 5 unique builds videos, which were really popular for a while, are starting to trail off. People are kind of getting tired of that, right? So I don't know. Maybe people are just getting tired of Commander. Maybe the people that really liked my way of building decks are in the same boat as me, which is they just don't really want to play Commander anymore. I mean, I've had a lot of people. When I did my brackets video, I had a bunch of people in the comments talking about how I'm glad I quit playing Commander last year, because they're probably like-minded like me. They want to play the Commander format that existed 7-8 years ago. They want to play that, and they can't. Nobody wants difficult builds. Nobody wants janky decks. That group of people is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. But again, it's just going to be another card. Again, if I don't play on the Discord for a few weeks, it'll just be like, hey, look at this new card from Final Fantasy that the creature has 10,000 power. And it's like, ugh, all right, whatever. Okay, you killed me with 10,000 power. Congratulations. And no one's going to stop using these cards. I know you guys aren't. I am. I haven't bought in cards. Foundations was the last time I bought cards. Again, that's another thing where I had already decided I am not buying cards anymore. New cards, I stopped buying. Aether Drift was it for me. I'm done. I'm not buying any new cards. I don't care if Dragons of Tarkir, perfect aesthetic I don't care. I'm done buying cards. And again, it's not about winning for me. Again, like I say all the time, I just want to play my deck. I played a game. The game I played previous to those two, maybe, my deck got to do its thing. I didn't win. In fact, I was the first person knocked out of the game. My deck got to do its thing because the game actually lasted a while. Not have to worry about nasty comments is something that I'm very much looking forward to. Like I just, every video I post now is just like, ugh, there's probably going to be some asshole in there telling me I'm a fucking idiot. Like I'm so tired of that. So tired of it. It really gets old after a while. It wears on you. I'm only human. And I don't have, like the professor, I'm sure has like a team full of people that curates his comments. Same with the command zone that just go through there and just delete all the nasty comments and just sort of curate everything. That's just me. I'm exposed to all this. I don't have anyone, I do it all myself. I don't think there's a future in it either, to be quite honest. I think the format has already reached its peak. I think it's going to start slowly cratering. Magic the Gathering also. Again, Magic the Gathering in general is almost like a Ponzi scheme at this point, where they're just artificially keeping their numbers high by cranking out shit as fast as they can. They can't sustain it. There's no way they can sustain that. They'll just get every IP they can possibly get their hands on just to try to keep people interested. They won't maintain it. Commander as a format for sure will start plummeting. Magic the Gathering will start plummeting as well. I'm not saying this year necessarily, but pretty soon. A lot of people really don't get me. And I think the big reason they don't get me is because I'm not sitting there going, hey, make sure you hit like and subscribe. I'm not that guy, because I never wanted to be a YouTuber. I'm just a guy who loves Magic and loves talking about Commander. And I thought, I'll just throw all my ideas out there on a channel. And it caught on, because I guess people wanted to see that kind of stuff. I did my channel the way I wanted people to do it. I wanted to just see the Magic card you're talking about, and I don't care what else is in the just a plain white background. Let's do that. And I really hate the very scripted. I don't love it. I'm not an actor. I love watching other people's channels where it's just them. You can tell it's them and they're being real and they're not being an actor. All these people that put on these goofy, funny voices and shit, man, that bugs me. I don't know if you guys like it, but I'm just like, I can tell that's not really you. The guy you see on my channel is literally me, and it's just me talking. That's it. And that's what I thought was, again, it was a little bit of, I saw something lacking. I saw some hole that I could fill. I mean, I guess Desolator Magic, that was the one guy. And that's kind of why I liked him, is because he was the guy that was just, you could tell it was just him talking and just airing his grievances. I kind of like that. That's why for a while I watched him, because I liked the fact that he was obviously just a guy talking without a script. I used to get excited about making videos. I used to love watching my own videos. My favorite video, maybe that I've ever done, is that video where I'm complaining about the brackets. I love that video. I watched it like 4 times. So what does that say? What does it say that like my favorite video that I've ever done is a video where I'm complaining about something that Wizards of the Coast is doing? That doesn't bode well, right? But definitely playing those games back to back, and in particular playing my Denic deck. And it's funny because I believe I was 7-0 with that deck, right? Just to give you an idea of how much things have changed. When I put that deck together originally, and that's one of the first decks I put together, and I talk about that in my personal decks video. I think it might be my very first deck I put together after my channel started in paper. My newest deck, I started playing it on the Discord, and I was 7-0 with it before I finally lost a game with it. And now it's a deck that I don't know if I'll ever win a game again with it, right? So that's how much things have changed. We're talking about 3 years here, guys, maybe 4 years. That's how much things have changed in this format in just a few years, where my Denic deck has gone from being one of my best decks to a deck that I don't even know if I can get going before the game's over, right? So I don't know. Maybe I'm being particularly depressing and salty here because I just played those super quick games. The combination of all that bracket stuff that I'm already so tired of talking about it. I don't know. It's a problem without a solution, I guess. It kind of is depressing. I mean, I'll read what the guy said. Hey, Demo, been subscribed to your channel for at least a couple of years, and I'd say you're one of my favorite MTG content creators. Like, it's unbelievable that a guy can start out like this. I love the way you're able to think of interesting deck ideas, spontaneous, and all blah, blah, blah. With that being said, the constant negativity has gotten almost unbearable. Like, for all you guys that have been with me for a long while, it's amazing that a guy that's been watching my channel supposedly for 2 years, you've never watched a video where I'm negative before. I do it all the time. One of my very first videos, in fact, if you go watch some of my original videos when like Call Time was being spoiled, man, I complained all the time. I've been doing this since the beginnings of my channel. Nothing has changed. This has always been me. I'm not an actor. I don't have a script. I just give it to you straight, okay? I'm also a guy who's been playing the game of Magic for almost 30 years, and I'm very invested in it. And when I see things not going the way I'd like, I'm going to speak my mind. By the way, can someone show me a YouTube channel that doesn't complain about stuff? I never understand the people that are like, you're whining, you're complaining. You mean like 90% of the internet? People whine and complain more than they breathe nowadays on the internet. Go watch a channel that doesn't complain about Wizards of the Coast, if you can find one. Like nowadays,
Like the complaining's been nonstop because Wizards of the Coast has been doing stupid things nonstop. Unsets with black borders, 30th anniversary edition. What an utter failure that was. You know why I cite the bad design thing so often? First of all, you can't undo it, right? You can't undo Corvald. You can't undo Niv Mizzet Perun. Those are busted bad commander designs. They should have never printed them. They're now in the commander format forever. They'll never go away. Right? Commander's not a rotating format. They banned Golos because that obviously was a terrible commander design. They can't ban everything. They can't. Wizards of the Coast is churning out bad commanders faster than the rules committee could possibly ban them all. That's why all I can do is complain about her. My reply was this. First, I have to talk about new cards. I have to. How can I have a Magic channel and not talk about new cards? Especially commanders, right? I have to talk about commanders. So when I do so, what should I do? Just read what the card does and then next commander, move on like a robot? No, I'm going to be like, oh, that's not very good because that's my opinion. This is my channel. I always give my opinion on stuff, guys. And I'm not, it's unfiltered. I mean, it may be slightly filtered. I try not to swear. In real life, I swear a lot, by the way. Funny, this person has been watching me for about 2 years. For all you guys that are around from the beginning, go watch some of my early videos. Man, I complained a lot. I complained a lot because I've seen this coming for years now. With both the game of Magic in general, but more specifically, the format of command. Man, good thing I didn't have a channel when Ikoria came out, or something like that, or when Dominaria came out. It would have been nonstop complaining. I've been doing this forever. Nothing new here. Nothing new. It's funny when I suggest interesting janky cards and people love that. Here's some interesting build-arounds. Here's 5 unique ways to build around commanders. And then I complain about all these easy to build around precon commanders and people complain. No, those things are the same. That's the same subject being talked about on 2 different ends of the spectrum. I've been super consistent since the beginning. I will say though, if someone's only been watching my channel for a year or 2 years, I did soften for a while, okay? You know, once I got to like 10,000 subscribers, 20,000 subscribers, I was like, oh, wow, I can actually make a career of this, right? And I started to become one of those guys. I started to become one of those, I want to be a YouTube guys. And I started to soften my stance and I stopped making the controversial videos, or I tried to stop making the controversial videos anyway. Again, it's hard for me not to make any, but I tried to stay away from that. And I put the kid gloves on, right? And I tried to use the soft touch. And I was like, you know what? I'm starting to become just those generic YouTube Magic guys who just talk about cards. And you know what the video it was? The video it was that really made me be like, what am I doing here? The 10 best commanders from March of the Machine Aftermath. I made that video, and that is maybe the only video I've ever made on my channel where I'm not being genuine. Almost all of them were super generic, obvious build-arounds. Just thinking about that video and how fake and phony I was being makes me feel gross because I'm sitting there going, oh, this is a great commander. Oh, look at the build around. No, most of those commanders were awful. While editing that video, I was like, ugh, I almost deleted it. That's how crappy I felt when I made that video. And after that, I was like, why am I doing this? I'm not going to pretend that these are good commanders anymore. I'm not doing that anymore. And by the way, I'm not even complaining about all the things I could be complaining about. I see all the things that are happening to the game I love, and I'm not going to stay quiet about it. I'm not. Lord knows nobody else is. I don't expect everyone to watch my videos, guys. I have videos with over 100,000 views, and I have videos with like 5,000 views because I suspect the people that don't watch the 5,000 view video have no interest in watching it. Hey, I'm doing a deck tech on, whatever commander. The 5,000 people that watch that video obviously are the ones that are interested in it, and everyone else has no interest in it. I'm not sure why someone would feel disenfranchised because, so you found a video of mine you don't like? Oh well, out of 500, it's bound to happen eventually. Again, the complaining I did in this video, it doesn't hold a candle to some of the complaining I did in the beginning. Go watch my Orvar the All Form is ruining the format video, whatever I called it. I was talking about Commander being ruined as a format right in the beginning of my channel. Go watch that video and you'll hear a whole lot of complaining, a whole lot. I was doing way more complaining back then. But again, as my channel started to gain popularity, I was more interested. Oh, I don't want to scare anyone away, right? I started to become that person. I started to become the person who, oh, people don't want me whining or complaining. Okay, I guess I'll just be positive about everything. Again, that March of the Machine Aftermath video made me want to go have a shower after because I was just like, ugh, I can't do it, guys. I can't be fake and phony. I can only be myself. I'm not going to pretend to like things I don't actually like. That comment from that guy, I like your channel, but you've been so whiny and negative lately. I've heard that 1,000 times. I'm not even exaggerating. Welcome to the party, buddy. Like, I got this comment 2 months ago on a video, 2 months before that on a video, 2 months before that. So where was this guy on that? When I was complaining about Universes Beyond, where was this guy? How come he wasn't complaining about my whining there? Because he probably agreed with my opinion there, right? It's okay for me to whine and complain as long as you agree with my opinion. As soon as you don't agree with my opinion, now all of a sudden, I'm just a whiner and a complainer. By the way, the most ironic thing maybe on all of the internet is the person that whines and complains about your whining and complaining. So like this dude's just sitting here whining and complaining that I'm whining and complaining. Don't see the irony there? Lack of self-awareness, maybe. All right, guys, I thought I would tack this on to the end of that video. So the first video that you're watching, which again, I recorded way back in at the end of February, and now it's been about a month. I've realized there is no solution to this problem. The problem is that this is a self-policing format, and for someone who's only been playing the Commander format for a few years, which is probably a lot of my patrons, they don't see it. They're like, I don't get it. What's the problem? For them, this is Commander. Again, that's why people, they don't get, like I complain and people like, I don't get it. What's the problem? I don't get it. They don't get it. If you've only been playing the format since they've been doing this insane, like everything is Commander now, then you're like, well, I don't get it. For me, the solution is I quit my channel, which I am. Haven't changed my mind there. Even more so, since I made that first video, I came out with I came up with my speeding up the format video, which I couldn't believe how many people in the comments are telling me that a 45-minute game is good enough. I'm like, wow, we're doomed, right? And then my, the life as a resource video, my lands video, just like all the nasty like I'm so done with that. I can't do it anymore. It's so way worse. Like when I first started my channel, that's one of the first things you really got to prepare yourself for. Like all the people are like, oh, got to have a thick skin if you're going to be a YouTuber. Try it. Try it, big mouth, okay? Try having people trash you on a daily basis in the comments of your own videos, okay? It takes more than a thick skin, okay? It really does. And I know people tell me to ignore it, but I'm just not the kind of guy. I can't ignore things. I'm not made like that. It's actually pretty incredible that I've lasted this long, to be honest. I've blocked hundreds of people from my channel, and I'm going to go on a blocking spree. I've decided that now I'm not going to respond to anybody anymore. I'm just going to block everybody. Anyone that says, oh, what a stupid take, you're an idiot, I'm just going to block. I'm not even going to respond. I try to respond to those people, but then they just come back with something else, and it literally never ends, because for them, winning an argument in the YouTube comments section is super important to them. It means it's like, hey, look at me, gold star. And I'm just like, yeah, this is never going to end. I've done it with so many people where I give them a rebuttal, because I'm like, you want to have a conversation about this? Great. I give them a rebuttal, they give me one back, and then we just keep going back and forth forever until I just have to block them. Every video I have now is like that. Every video. It was bad in the beginning. There was a few like real nasty assholes that I had to block. And then it was, you always get pushback, but the real nasty stuff, like, you're an idiot. What are you thinking? Like, it's a combination of, I've realized, again, after doing my speeding up video and my life as a resource video, where people are like, oh, Ancient Tomb's like the best card ever. You should put it in every deck because winning is all that matters. I'm like, right? It's a combination of, again, the format's getting super popular, so we're bringing in all those people. It's a combination of that, though, and a combination of the format is speeding up, just like I said in my video, and people are expecting a game to end really quickly. So when I make videos about, is life actually a resource, or all these videos I make, people are just like, huh? It's like we're speaking a different language. They're like, what format are you talking about? Like, what? My deck buildings, I'm a dinosaur, guys. My way of building decks, the things I do on my channel are just not relevant anymore. They're really not. People like the funky card suggestions, sure, but I mean, I stopped doing deck techs on my channel a long time ago because nobody cared. If you want someone to watch a deck tech, you have to pick the most powerful, most popular commander from whatever the recent set is. If I did that, I'd get lots of views because everyone wants to build that commander, right? And I'm going to, when I do my farewell video, okay, I will point this out, and I'm going to point it out right now. You guys know this video? Probably, right? You guys probably recognize this video. I would think you would, because this is one of the most viewed videos in Commander history. Okay, as far as content, I mean, you guys know who this guy is, right? This is one of the most viewed videos in the history of Commander content. Okay, it's like around 700,000 views. Insane. It's essentially a deck tech. This is a deck tech, essentially, that has 700,000 views. That's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane, right? Now, why is that? You guys want to take a guess why? Gee, I wonder why. Because of what it says on the thumbnail there, right? 70% win rate. Wow, that's great. But not only what it says on the thumbnail, but what it says in the title, right? You guys know what the title is for this video? My Playgroups best deck is $20. This is what everybody wants now. This is why this video has so many views, because everybody wants a $20 deck that has a 70% win rate. That's what everybody wants. Nobody wants a janky deck anymore. I mean, some people do. Obviously, there's some people do. But most Commander players, the people that are coming in to this format that are not Magic fans, they're Lord of the Rings fans, and whatever else. They want to pay $20 for a deck, play a quick game, and then go back to doing that other thing, as I already brought up. So that is now what the format is. The format is everybody wants a $20 deck that has a 70% win rate. So they can come in, play a quick game, win, and then go run off and do something else, right? The format's ruined. It'll never recover. The play group is it's funny, we've come full circle. We've really come full circle where we started with the whole play group thing was the way you played Commander. And then it became popularized and people started playing at their LGS and people started playing with randos online. And now we've gotten back to the point where you can only play Commander with your playgroup now. It doesn't work any other way. They're going to try to fix it with this brackets thing, but it's not going to work. It's absolutely not going to work. I know I have some patrons that have hopes that it will work. It's not going to work. The only way it works is with the playgroup thing. That's the way it was intended to be played. I watched a video about the history of Commander, and I'm like, God, it was so, like, not only is it so different from when I started playing, it is so different from where it started. So different. Wizards of the Coast really has ruined the format. Irreparably, in my opinion. You'll never go back. You can never fix it. Not only is it the cards they've printed, but it's the mentality that has changed everything, right? You guys know when they first started doing the Commander format, there was no command zone. You'd actually reveal your commander at the start of the game and then shuffle it into your library, right? And again, even like the tuck rule, being able to tuck a guy's commander into their library and they couldn't put it in the command zone, they literally changed that rule right when I started playing Commander. That wasn't that long ago. So this idea of I need my commander to be in play and building it, like, there's no way that was intended to be for the Commander format. Your commander was just another piece of the pie. Originally, the rules of the format originally made it actually very difficult for you to build around your commander, which is kind of funny. This was never about being a content creator for me. Okay, I only have a Patreon because some guy suggested it. Some guy suggested it in the comments of one of my early videos. Hey, you should start a Patreon. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. This was I never wanted to be this guy. I just like talking about Commander. And I love the game of Magic and I love playing Commander. It's why I made my channel. I don't love talking about Commander anymore, so what's the point in having a channel, right? Everyone is going to very quickly start complaining about the brackets and how they don't work. And, oh, Wizards of the Coast needs to do this and Wizards of the Coast needs to do that. And again, everyone is just going to rely on Wizards of the Coast to say, hey, why isn't Gavin Verhey doing that? Everyone's loving Gavin Verhey right now. Just wait until the Commander format isn't better in a few months. Then you'll start complaining about how much he sucks. He's the new rules committee. He's going to be the new guy that he's going to be taking the brunt of everyone's complaints. Again, nothing will change here. It's just going to be like, how come this card's not banned? Why did you unban this card? This card should be a game changer. Gavin Verhey's such an idiot because blah, 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 blah. There's going to be so much of that. It's unmanageable. The Commander format is unmanageable. Like, it's so funny. Wizards of the Coast did the exact opposite of what they should have done. What they should have done is move everyone away from the Commander format because it does not work as the flagship format. It doesn't work. It's unmanageable, for one, and for two, it's unlike every other format. It doesn't work as the flagship format. They made a huge error there. Once the rules committee stepped down and Wizards of the Coast took over, I knew the end was near. I knew it. For me, at least. Maybe it might be a while before the Commander format comes crashing down, but for me, I knew the end was near. I knew that nothing Wizard of the Coast was going to do going forward, I was going to be okay with. I knew I was going to hate it all. So I knew for me, I'm like, I better start planning my exit. And I've come to accept where we're at, and how does that work with the stages of, the denial and the acceptance, that kind of thing. Maybe I'm at the acceptance stage. So now I'm feeling better, but I'm still bummed about what has happened to the Commander format. I'm sure all the guys that used to play Modern or that play Modern are bummed about that. And all the guys that loved Standard are bummed about that. Magic just sucks in general. Sorry, I don't care what anybody says. This game is way shittier than it was 10 years ago. Way shittier. Every format sucks now. They all suck. Which format doesn't suck? I'm trying to think of one. Pre-modern, that's about the only formats are the ones that don't change. Pre-modern, pre-EDH, right? All the pre-formats, however many there are. Even Pauper is horribly impacted by sets like Modern Horizons 3. You can't get away from it. Even if you play Pauper, guys, you can't get away from it. Again, the only formats that people aren't bummed out about are the ones that never change. Wizards of the Coast will eventually ruin every format you love. All right, that's where we're at now. I hear comments people saying, oh, people have always bitched about Wizards of the Coast. Yeah, you're right, because they've almost like they're trying to sabotage themselves. It's always been that way. Man, you should have heard people complaining back in Mirrodin when all the affinity debacle happened. Yeah. Like, what were you guys thinking? It's like you're trying to ruin your own game, and they almost did. Yeah, anyway, I won't continue on with that. This is the end of the video. The saddest part about this is Commander Legends just came out a couple of months ago. I was talking about the amount of legendary creatures in the set. This is 33 now by my count. 33. Commander 2019, an actual Commander set, had 18. 18 legendary creatures, new ones, in Commander 2019. That's it. That's a Commander set. They've just really gone completely bananas with the legendary creatures in these standard sets. I mean, it's crazy. And I know Commander players get excited about it, but it's too much. Just think about all of the commanders that came out in Commander Legends. 73 new commanders came out in Commander Legends. 73. How many of those have you had a chance to play with? How many of those have you had a chance to build a deck with? And we already have now 33 more, and they're really powerful, and people are going to want to use them. Commanders that came out in Commander Legends are already getting buried by these new commanders, and they just came out. What, 2 months ago? It's getting to be too much. The format is changing too fast, too quickly. We're not even getting a chance to enjoy it. It's too much. I watched the Command Zone, year in review. There was so much Commander product in 2020. So much. Just with the amount of sets they came out with, and, the fact that they came out with 2 Commander specific sets. And I mean, let's be honest. Almost every set now is engineered towards Commander. I mean, Orvar, you think they're making that for Standard? No way. Finn, the Fangbearer, you think they're making that card for Standard? I mean, how many Death Touch creatures are there in Standard that you can actually put in this deck, There is no chance they're putting 33 legendary creatures in a Standard set because they're thinking about Standard. They're thinking about Commander. That's why they made Companions. They made Companions because they were thinking about Commander and how can we make every other format like Commander. Because it is becoming the most popular format, it's bringing all, just like me, I used to play Modern all the time. Now I have come in to play Commander, except I'm not playing Commander because it's popular. I'm playing Commander because I wanted to get away from that, right? I wanted to get away from the super competitive, super oppressive stuff. And guess what? If I want to play that way, I'll go play CEDH, because it is fun to play like that sometimes. That super competitive style where every turn you're sitting there scratching your chin like, what should I do? In a casual game, you're just like, just play a spell, pass turn, who cares, right? I mean, not that you don't want to win. Of course I want to win, but there's not sweat billowing off your brow in a casual Commander game. There shouldn't be, at least, right? Like I said, it's fun to do that once in a while, have that really competitive style, but I don't want to see that in a casual game, right? So I just really don't like, and I know I'm not the only one. I have heard lots of other content creators talking about this, the power level of cards, and not just that, but also the type of players that are coming in. who just don't care about having a fun game. They don't care about having a fun kitchen table magic 4-player game. Everyone's enjoying themselves. They just want to win. They're bringing that standard or that modern mentality of, no, I just want to crank out a win. Crank out a win and get to the next game. They're bringing that mentality into this format, which I don't love. And I don't want to sound elitist, and I don't want to sound like I'm gatekeeping. You know, people can do what they want. And it's great if you have a play group and you can actually gatekeep and keep people like that out of your play group. But not everybody does, right? And especially in this day and age, it's getting even harder, right? I don't like the direction things have been going. It worries me a little. I love this game. I've been playing for over 20 years. And I only play Commander. I stopped playing Standard. I stopped playing Modern. Commander is the only format I play now because it is the last bastion. Like I think I said in my very first video, for people who really enjoy deck building and for people who really enjoy that kitchen table magic that I was used to when I first started playing.
Sacred relic, smooth, hard and metallic, with a separate nervous system that vibrates psychedelic. Walk around it 7 times anti-clockwise and step back. Watch me as I lit the fire and crystallize.